What is up, and welcome back to another video. What we are going to be talking about today is we are going to be looking at the super regional matchups in college baseball. We're going to be going through all of them. As you can see here, I'm going to be predicting them. I'm going to be previewing them, telling you everything you need to know about these matchups. First off, I want to talk about the regionals last weekend. Were phenomenal. I've been watching I'm a huge college baseball fan. I've been watching the regionals for years, and last weekend was as exciting as I have ever seen them. It's as much fun as I've ever had watching them. They were awesome. They didn't fail to disappoint all weekend long. So now we're going to move into these super regional matchups. I'm going to talk about them, and again, I'm going to tell you the 8 teams I think are going to move on to Omaha. But before we do that, I'm going to get into the matchups, show them to you. So we have Miami, who advanced out of the Southern Miss Regional, Louisville, who advanced out of the Vanderbilt Regional, UCLA, who won their own regional, then UTSA, who won the Austin Regional in an absolute stunner. They played some great baseball this weekend. The world got introduced to UTSA, including me. They were awesome. Oregon State won the Corvallis Regional. Florida State won their own regional. Duke won the Athens Regional, and Murray State, in my opinion, in the regional of the weekend, goes into Oxford and beats Ole Miss. North Carolina wins in a Game 7 versus Oklahoma, and Arizona rolls to the Eugene Regional. The Big 12 champs are on a heater. They're swinging as good as anyone. LSU, and again, a surprisingly awesome regional, just barely scaves off Little Rock to advance, and then West Virginia wins the Clemson Regional. As a Clemson fan, not excited about that. Auburn wins the Auburn Regional. Auburn fans were coming at me a little bit. I posted a video saying they shouldn't have been a top 5 seed. I predicted NC State to win that regional. I was wrong. Auburn looked as good as anyone this weekend. They're awesome. Coastal Carolina won their regional in 3 games, the first team to advance. Arkansas, who also looked incredible, and Tennessee, who had to go to a Game 7 against Wake. All right, so there's a lot going on here with these regionals and a lot of awesome matchups, a lot of upsets. If you haven't seen this, I think I got 5 regional predictions right. If you want to check out that video where I've already predicted the regionals and my national champs, but obviously I'm having to regroup because some of the teams I had all the way in Omaha are out. So we're going to do it again here with the super regionals. You can still go check out that video if you want to, just a couple videos down. But the first regional that we have here is Miami and Louisville, an ACC matchup in the super regional. 2 surprises of teams. The first thing I will say is, in the last one, the reasoning for me not picking Louisville, I knew Louisville was dangerous because they have a great offense. My reason for not picking Louisville was that their pitching struggles at times, their bullpen struggles. Louisville pitched better than everyone last round. They gave up 3 runs, I believe, in 3 games. Their pitching was phenomenal, including a shutout in Game 3 to advance past Wright State. Because of that reason, I'm rolling with Louisville here. I think Miami, I'm happy for Miami. They just squeaked in the tournament. I'm happy they're back in the Super Regionals, first time since 2016. I think Louisville's a better team than Miami anyways. But if Louisville is pitching like that, they can beat anyone, and I mean anyone. I mean, they just took down the number 1 overall seed. Like, they can rake. Louisville's lineup is young. It's legit. And their arms looked fantastic. And their bullpen was fantastic. They didn't blink. They have a lot of talented arms. They just weren't able to put it together all season. They put it together at the right time. I'm taking Louisville to beat Miami. I'm going to go with 2 games. I think they have a 2-game sweep, and they stay hot versus Miami in this series. The next series, we're going to the Los Angeles Super Regional. UCLA was another team. I picked Irvine to pick that regional. Irvine is a great team. They're awesome. I had a chance to watch them a couple times this season. They showed themselves well in the regional, but UCLA was just dominant. And then we have UTSA, who won the Austin Regional, also in dominant fashion. I mean, those dudes can hit. They have legit arms out of the bullpen. Their starting pitching was fantastic. You don't win. I think UTSA has like 46, 47 wins on the season now. You don't win that many games without being a great team. I don't care who you're playing. I think UCLA, being at home, takes this series in 3 games. The Roadrunners are awesome. I want to see UTSA win this series. I think everyone, unless you're a UCLA fan, is pulling for UTSA in this series. And they can 100% get it done. But I'm riding with UCLA after picking against them last time. UCLA looked as good as anyone in the country last weekend. They pitched, they were hitting. I mean, they just ran everyone off the field in their 3 games. They completely dominated. So I'm rolling with them in this round. The next regional is the Super Regional, is the Corvallis Super Regional. And this is, to me, maybe the best matchup of the Super Regionals. You have 2 heavyweights, Oregon State and Florida State, Duke can get out. Oregon State lost their first game of the regional to St. Mary's, and I thought they were cooked. They didn't look good. They didn't hit at all. They didn't have any sort of timely hitting, and then they just turned it on. I mean, they won their next 4 games, obviously, to go to the Super Regionals, and they dominated. They didn't just win, they dominated. Their 2 games against USC, they looked as good as anyone. Let me tell you, Oregon State, if you have not got a chance to watch them, 1, their crowd is fantastic. They do an awesome job at Corvallis at hosting a regional. They love their college baseball up there. Respect to them. And 2, man, can they pitch. The guys that they rolled out a freshman against USC in their winner-go-home game. In Game 7, winner to the Super Regional, and he was just fantastic. Like, all of their guys in the bullpen are plus arms, guys who are going to run it up to 95, 96. They have legit arms, and they're fantastic. And Florida State is also awesome. Florida State can really hit. Kyle Lodi's, their shortstop, is one of the best players in the country. They have maybe the best freshman in the country, their catcher, Hernandez. Florida State can rake. I like Oregon State in 3 games to win this series, though. I think the home crowd, I think the pitching, their bullpen especially, is enough to get done. And man, are they raking. Gavin Turley is one of the best players in the country. They can hit top to bottom. Gavin Turley is your player to watch. If you don't know who he is, you're going to get to know him real quick after watching the Super Regional, because I promise you, he's going to hit a home run, probably 2, maybe even 3. All the dude does is hit bombs. Oregon State's awesome. This is a great series. This could go either way. I'm going to ride with the home team. Next Super is Duke versus Murray State. Murray State pulled off an epic regional win over Ole Miss. So they beat Ole Miss opening night in what was just an awesome game. A game that Ole Miss came so close. They had runners on and just couldn't get that big hit to get over the edge. Then they defeat Georgia Tech like 13-11 in the next game. Then Ole Miss comes back and crushes them, so it has to go to the Game 7. And Murray State jumps all over Ole Miss. They're up 12-3. They let Ole Miss get it back to 12-11, and then they close it out. Murray State flat out rakes. That's how they win games. I think they had 20 hits versus Ole Miss in that Game 7. Duke, on the other hand, all Duke does is win regionals. This is their 4th regional win in the last 8 years going to the Super. But a big thing to note for Duke is their best player, A.J. Gracia, is suspended for Game 1 of the Super Regionals. They have a crazy rule in college baseball where, teams have their home run celebrations. Duke does a home run celebration where if a guy hits a home run, when he's running back to the dugout, they give him like a construction helmet. But with these home run props, as the NCAA calls them, you cannot have the prop on the field. The player that brings the prop on the field will therefore be kicked out of the game and suspended for the next one, because if you get kicked out as a player, you're suspended for the next game. A.J. Gracia put the helmet on the field, was kicked out of the game, and suspended for the first Super Regional game. He is Duke's by far best player, and he's one of the best players in the country. Duke is really scrappy. Duke can pitch. Murray State can really hit. Murray State, I worry about their pitching. I'm rolling with Murray State in the Durham Regional, Super Regional. I think their hitting is enough. I think they're hot. I think they drew a good matchup. I would not have picked them to beat Georgia if they had to go into Athens. I think they can win in Durham. I think they match up really well. I think Gracia being out is huge for Duke. He is by far their best player. I think Murray State gets it done in 3 games. They're so much fun to watch, man. Like, they didn't hit for a ton of power in the Oxford Regional, but 1 through 9, like, they're all hitting over 300. They all put the ball in play. They're not going to be scared against the great pitching. They showed that. They're awesome. The next regional we have, Super Regional we have, is the Chapel Hill Super Regional. If you didn't see what Mr. Gallagher did for UNC last weekend, I don't think Gavin Gallagher got out one time for North Carolina. He went like 13 for 16. North Carolina rakes. Jackson Vanderbilt rakes. Stevenson rakes. In North Carolina, Jake Knapp is one of the best pitchers in the country. Arizona is hot. Arizona scored like 1,000 runs in the Eugene Regional. They just crushed Cal Poly to win the regional. But I think UNC, if you saw my first predictions video, I have them in the National Championship Series. I think they are that good. I think that they handle Arizona in 2 games. I do think Arizona maybe could steal a game, but I don't think Arizona wins this. I think this would be a really big upset because Jake Knapp is going to get you a win Game 1. He's going to go out there. He's going to throw you 7 or 8 innings of 0 to 1 run ball. And then North Carolina is hitting as good as anyone right now. Oklahoma did play a really good game to steal a game from them in the regional, but North Carolina crushed them in the Game 7. They're awesome. Their lineup's awesome. And again, if Gallagher is hitting the way he is, that just adds another level to their offense when they already have the great starting pitching and they have a bunch of freshmen in the bullpen that just are electric. They're just a great baseball team. They could easily win the national championship. Next up, we have the LSU Super Regional, the Baton Rouge Super Regional. LSU almost just lost to Little Rock, but I am not off the LSU bandwagon at all. I think that was more about, well, it was a lot about Little Rock, but I mean, some of it was about LSU. They really didn't hit well at all, but their pitching is awesome. They have two of the best starting pitchers in the country that they're going to roll out in game 1 and then game 2. So they're going to run out Anthony Ianson and then Cade Anderson, and then they also have Carson Evans in the bullpen. So LSU is just, or Kason Evans, excuse me. They're electric. If you got to see Evans pitch versus Little Rock, he's the sole reason LSU defeated Little Rock. Well, him and Fry. I mean, Fry, I think, went 4 for 4, maybe 5 for 5 in that game with 4 or 5 RBIs. But LSU also can really hit. Jared Jones has been slumping just awful, but he broke out of it a little bit, hit a home run against Little Rock. So if he gets to get going a little bit, and then, like I said, LSU has elite, the best 1-2 punch easily in the country with starting pitchers. Both those guys are 1 and 3. They're top 3 in strikeouts, and then Evans out of the bullpen is maybe the best relief pitcher in the country. LSU is still awesome. I think they win in 2 games. The problem with LSU is once you get past those 2 starters, they're very beatable, and they proved that. But you only got to win 2 out of 3 in a Super Regional. West Virginia is not beating those 2 guys, in my opinion. The Auburn Super Regional. This, again, is one of the most exciting Super Regionals to me. Auburn is a great team. Coastal Carolina has the #1 team ERA in the country. You have 2 of the best players in the country going at it, including Ike Irish for Auburn, who is just incredible. He had an absolute bomb in the regional over the weekend. And again, Auburn dominated the regional. They won 3 straight games. None of them were close. None of them, they didn't really get given a scare. Stetson played them pretty close in game 2. I like Auburn to win this one in 3 games, though. I really do. I think Coastal's great. I think they can pitch. I even think Coastal's got a really good lineup as well. I love Coastal. I think Auburn's going to be a little bit too much. And I'm not picking against Auburn again. I've done it too much already. They made me look like I was clueless. So I'm not doing that again. I'm willing to go down with being wrong about Auburn. I probably should double down and pick Coastal, but I refuse after what Auburn made me look like last time. So we're rolling with the Tigers in this one. Rolling on to the Fayetteville Super Regional. This is another one that is just an incredible matchup. Tennessee, who has what, in my opinion, not LSU, excuse me. Tennessee has who, in my opinion, is the best starting pitcher in the country. That is Liam Doyle. But Arkansas has, in my opinion, what is the best offense in the country. They hit 1,000 home runs. They hit for power. They hit for average. And it's, again, 1 through 9. Wahiva Aloy, in my opinion, is the best position player in the country. So you have the best pitcher versus the best position player. I think Arkansas gets it done in 3. I think Tennessee wins game 1 with Doyle on the mound. I think they win whichever game Doyle pitches, whether that's 1 or 2. Let's see. I don't know if they play Saturday or Sunday or Saturday or Friday. If they start Friday, Doyle might not pitch. He should be ready, though. But if you got to see what Doyle did to close out their regional versus Wake Forest, if you haven't seen it, you need to go watch it. He just comes in the game, faces 7 batters, I believe, strikes out 5 of them, is up to like 99, and it was just pure electricity from Doyle. He's going to be the first pitcher off the board in July in the MLB draft, and rightfully so. Both these teams are really good. I think Arkansas is better. And that leaves me, so for my Omaha 8, I have Louisville, UCLA, Oregon State, Murray State, UNC, LSU, Auburn, and Arkansas. And I feel good about that. And again, if you want to see like my national championship prediction and stuff, you can go watch the last video. I'm still rolling with the same team I picked then. My national championship pick, I'm not going to spoil it, is still in it. I'm still rolling with that same team. My 2 teams I have in the finals are still in it. I already told you North Carolina I had in the final. I spoiled that. But again, if you want to see that, go check it out. But again, it was just an insane regional play. There was so many teams. I mean, the 1 and 2 seeds are done, guys. Like Vandy and Texas. Like Texas, I I mean, if you would have told me Texas was going to lose in a regional, I would have told you 0% chance. Like, I literally talked about Texas in my last video, how dominant they were. They won the SEC by 2 games and then got ran off the field by UTSA. And it was like UTSA looked like the better team. It was unbelievable. Like, I mean, I obviously didn't watch UTSA play all year. And then, you know, they were awesome. Like, they had dudes coming out of that bullpen. Their starting pitching was awesome, and they could rake. I mean, it's just so many good stories in this tournament so far, and I really do think it's going to continue. Like I said, I would love to see UTSA get there, but I think Murray State's going to get it done against Duke. But, again, this tournament's so awesome. I can't wait for the Super Regionals to start in a couple days. And if you guys enjoyed this video, we're coming out with videos all throughout this tournament and about all other sports all the time. So click that subscribe button if you enjoyed it. And, again, thank you guys so much for watching. It helps you out a ton. And, again, this tournament has been so awesome. And thank you guys for watching this video, and I'll see you next time.